In the annals of history, there emerged a figure whose name struck fear into the hearts of many and commanded reverence from those who dared to speak of him. Genghis Khan, a name synonymous with power and conquest, stands as a testament to the grandeur and brutality that defined his era. His legacy rests not only upon the vast expanse of land he claimed, but also on the tales that echo his savagery, etched deep within the chronicles of time. The destruction of Nishapur in the year 1221, the gaze of the Mongolian forces, led unwaveringly by Genghis Khan himself, shifted towards Nishapur. Nestled in the northeastern reaches of Iran, this city once thrived in its flourishing magnificence. However, Nishapur's fate took a drastic turn, as the cruel hands of the merciless Khan would soon descend upon it. The tragic tale unfurled when the governor of Nishapur, Inalchuk, betrayed and brought about the demise of Genghis Khan's own son-in-law. This act of treachery ignited the tempest of the Khan's wrath, casting a foreboding shadow over the city's destiny. The stage was set, soaked in the impending doom that awaited with the arrival of the Mongolian forces. The inhabitants of Nishapur, faced with an impending calamity, dared to resist the tidal wave of the Mongol advance. Their defiance was met with a savagery that would come to define Genghis Khan's brutal conquests. In response, an order was given, a command from the Khan's lips that not a single soul within the city's walls should escape his fury. The once vibrant streets of Nishapur, which had once bustled with life, now became a canvas of horror as the Mongol hordes tore through, leaving a trail of crimson in their wake. The merciless tides of war spared none. Men, women, and innocent children alike fell beneath the unrelenting vengeance of the Mongols. The swift, cruel hand of death extinguished their lives with an efficiency matched only by the Khan's steely resolve. Reportedly, in a single day, the Mongol forces unleashed a slaughter of staggering proportions, claiming the lives of nearly 1.7 million souls. Nishapur, once a tapestry of culture and civilization, transformed into a silent cemetery of its former self. But Genghis Khan's thirst for vengeance reached beyond human life, as he decreed that even the animals, cats and dogs, must meet their end. Decimation of the Khwarazmian Empire. In the vast expanse of Central Asia, the Khwarazmian Empire flourished, its dominion stretching like a tapestry across the land. However, fate would orchestrate a meeting that would forever alter the course of this once thriving civilization. Genghis Khan, a name that resounded with both reverence and fear, turned his gaze toward the Khwarazmian Empire in the early 13th century, casting its prosperity into the shadow of ruin. The origins of this chilling episode can be traced back to a fatal misstep by Khwarazmian Shah Muhammad II. Genghis Khan, endeavoring to forge diplomatic and trade ties, dispatched a convoy of Mongol envoys. Yet these noble intentions were misconstrued by Shah Muhammad II, suspicion weaving a web around the Mongol emissaries. Accused of espionage, the ill-fated envoys met their doom at the hands of the Khwarazmian ruler. With a force meticulously organized and numbering around 200,000 fierce Mongol warriors, the great Khan began his advance toward the heart of the Khwarazmian Empire. His intent was as clear as it was savage, to impose his own brand of ruthless vengeance upon those who had dared to cross him. As the war drums sounded, the Mongol forces swept across the land like an unrelenting storm. The cities that resisted their advance found themselves crushed beneath an iron fist. The first to fall was the city of Otrar, where Inalchuk, the governor responsible for the massacre of the Mongol envoy, had taken refuge. Upon capturing the city, Genghis Khan exacted poetic justice, pouring molten silver into Inalchuk's eyes and ears, a gruesome testament to his fury. From Otrar, the Mongol forces surged forward, their momentum unyielding. One by one, cities crumbled before their might, each subjected to an onslaught of extreme violence. Majestic cities like Bukhara, Samarkand, and Khiva met the same fate, Reduced to smoky ruins, their bazaars that once bustled with life now became haunting relics of death and destruction. The rivers that once flowed serenely through Khwarazmian ran red with the blood of its people. The echoing cries of civilians, innocents who had known no part in the deadly politics, were silenced mercilessly. In Bukhara, a city that had once thrived as a hub of culture, Genghis Khan's orders led to a massacre so complete that even the animals were not spared. The very essence of the empire's identity was not spared from Genghis Khan's wrath. Libraries that held the treasures of knowledge were consumed by flames, priceless manuscripts turning to ashes. The scholars, the torchbearers of wisdom, were among the first to fall, their lives snuffed out, leaving a void of intellect and insight in their wake. The Khwarazmian Empire, a realm that once stood as a testament to civilization and culture, was left shattered and bleeding, its very essence erased by the unforgiving march of Genghis Khan's conquest. Through fire and sword, he etched his name in history, a name that would forever be entwined with the chilling echoes of a once prosperous empire reduced to desolation. The sacking of Urgench, the saga of Genghis Khan's conquests, cast a long shadow, stretching from the realms of history into the very heart of civilizations. After sowing chaos across the Khwarazmian Empire, Genghis Khan turned his gaze towards its glittering gem, Urgench, a city renowned for its opulence, culture, and architectural grandeur. Urgench stood as a testament to human achievement. Yet, its fate would be sealed in the bloodiest chapters of Khan's conquest, as the siege of Urgench etched itself into the annals of infamy. With an unyielding army at his command, Genghis Khan orchestrated a siege of unparalleled ferocity. His forces encircled the city, attacking from all directions, while employing calculated siege tactics that showcased the ruthless genius of his strategic mind. Within Urgench's resilient walls, the inhabitants steeled themselves, their determination stoked by the direness of their situation. But against the relentless tide of the Mongol onslaught, even the most resilient defense would falter. Months passed, and the city's defenses crumbled under the weight of the Mongol might. What ensued was a storm of unbridled carnage, a massacre devoid of mercy or restraint. Genghis Khan's edict reverberated through the chaos. No life in Urgench was to be spared. The Mongol warriors descended upon the city like a tempest, cutting down men, women, and children without discrimination. A macabre contest took root among the ranks, with soldiers vying to present the severed heads of their victims, an eerie display that marked their grim prowess. The city's once thriving canals, once teeming with life, now ran thick with the bodies of the fallen. Piles of skulls were erected as grim monuments to the Khan's triumph, stark reminders of the horrors that unfolded within those hallowed walls. But the destruction was not limited to lives lost. The very essence of Urgench, its palaces, mosques, and libraries that once echoed with knowledge, all met the same fiery fate. Priceless treasures, artistic masterpieces, and sacred texts alike were consumed by the all-consuming fires of the Mongol onslaught. The systematic devastation of the city left no stone unturned, no memory unscathed. Urgench's grandeur turned to rubble, its architectural marvels razed, and its cultural treasures reduced to ash. Even the intricate irrigation system that had once sustained the city was not spared. Brutality against the Jin Dynasty. Genghis Khan's ambitions painted a sprawling canvas that stretched far beyond the borders of Central Asia, extending towards the enigmatic East, specifically aiming at the Jin Dynasty in China. This confrontation would be etched in history not solely for its vast military engagements, but for the savage brutality that became emblematic of the Mongol leader's legacy. The Jin Dynasty, a formidable force reigning over northern China, made the initial mistake of underestimating the Mongols. They regarded them as mere barbarians, a grievous misjudgment that would soon be met with the furious storm of Genghis Khan's wrath. The year was 1211, When the Mongols initiated their unyielding campaign against the Jin Empire, a series of relentless invasions that left an indelible mark on the annals of conquest. Each city that fell under the Mongols' grip became a canvas upon which brutality was painted. Inhabitants faced horrors unimaginable: massed massacres, systematic enslavement, and desolation. With every conquered city, buildings crumbled, farmlands turned to wastelands, and once secure city walls were reduced to rubble, a testament to the havoc wrought by Genghis Khan's forces. Amidst these brutal encounters, one stands out: the siege of Zhongdu, the capital of the Jin Dynasty, in 1215. For a year, the city's walls bore the brunt of relentless assaults, its inhabitants slowly consumed by dwindling resources. When the final walls succumbed, Genghis Khan's fury knew no bounds. Zhongdu became a canvas of destruction, its riches pillaged, its people slaughtered or subjugated, and its former grandeur reduced to a haunting memory. As years wore on, the Jin Dynasty crumbled beneath the weight of Genghis Khan's unyielding might. Palaces that once whispered tales of opulence, libraries that held the wisdom of ages, and temples that stood as testaments to faith were all consumed by flames, their legacy reduced to ashes. The dynasty's once vibrant culture faced a near extinction, and swaths of its population were erased from history's pages. Yet, the devastation went beyond physical destruction and loss of life. Genghis Khan's forces stripped the Jin Dynasty of its wealth, plundering vast treasures that would further enrich the Mongol Empire. The skilled hands of artisans and craftsmen were taken captive, carried off to Mongolia, leaving behind a cultural chasm that echoed with silence. Thanks for watching the video, and if you found it informative, please like and subscribe to Time Capsule for similar content. We look forward to sharing more knowledge with you in the future. Until then, take care.